So
That's a weird
thinking about
image right now.
podcasts, or talking about podcasts, or just getting into podcasts. What place do podcasts occupy in your life? Yeah, ear shelves. Thanks, Father Bonaventure. Father Patrick, are you a podcast man? Are you kind of like for or against? Are you like, I only produce, I don't consume, or do you dabble?
Yeah, so I'm going to stake out the other end of this spectrum among the
Nice.
Godsplainers because I am basically always listening to podcasts.
Okay. Is that like an OSV News, have your ear to the ground so as to pick up, the stagecoach rider as he approaches, that kind of thing?
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. I'm always looking for some, I got to throw stuff in a column every week for the paper and write about stuff. So I have to be looking for it. So I do actually have a legitimate reason to know what people are saying. But some of what I listen to is not news oriented. It's more. I mean, some things are more like professional development. Like I like At the Table with Patrick Lencioni. I think that's a great podcast. But I also like. I also like more entertaining things like Crime Town or the history of Rome. I've been kind of plugging my way through. So I listen on my walks in the morning, got to get my steps in. And I listen as I'm puttering about my room. Often as I'm, kind of going over things and editing, I'm listening. Yeah, I'm basically like listening to podcasts all day.
Just to communicate a spiritual atmosphere to our listeners, when you say getting your steps in, at the end of the day, your Apple Health Tracker we'll recount to you how many steps you've taken. What are you hitting like an 8,000, like a 10,000? Where are you at these days?
Yeah, usually I'm at like 8, the goal being 10. But like if this is a confessional setting and I have to tell you what's up, right about 8.
Yeah, shoot for the moon. The worst that'll happen is you go hurtling into space and die of asphyxiation.
That's a lot of trips to the rec room and back.
Wow, that got dark.
Dude, I got you. I got you.
Oof. Just for listeners to know.
Father Joseph Anthony, do podcasts occupy a place in your life? If so, are they? Do they have a place at the table, or are they kind of condemned to the outer darkness?
I'm probably in the middle ground of everybody. I find myself I'm more of a content creator with respect to this space than a consumer, but I listen to podcasts. I find that I listen to podcasts when I drive a lot. So if I'm driving up and back from DC or something like that, it's helpful to just throw a few podcasts and truck out a few episodes in that setting. So I find that's going to be where I listen to podcasts mostly. And it's a mixture of entertainment podcasts and kind of professional development stuff. So I would say I'm somewhere in the middle of it. There's not like a list of podcasts that I'm always listening to. It's not like Thursday is my podcast day or anything like that. But I do find that I will tend to listening to podcasts as I'm driving. And the way things are set up here in Charlottesville, the Priory is right across the street from the church. So my commute is 30 seconds at maybe 45 on a rough day when, traffic is heavy. But when I am in the car, driving a decent distance, that's when I'll make my way over to the podcast side of things.
Now, Father Jacob-Bertrand, it's been whispered abroad that you don't listen to podcasts, that your ear shelves are utterly empty when it comes to the stocage, how do you pronounce that word, of podcast material. Is that true, or is that a slanderous lie?
It's not true.
Okay.
I listen to one podcast with some regularity, but it's a sportif podcast, so it's not really like you know what I mean? It's like that.
Yeah.
And then there's one like long form comedy. Well, it's like interview podcast that I occasionally listen to, but that's it. So I think it's like what, as far as listeners go on this, Father Patrick listens. Then I guess probably Father Joseph Anthony, then probably you, Father Gregory, then probably me, and then probably Father Bonaventure. I think that would be the order.
That's the spectrum. That is our spectral life. Father Jacob-Bertrand, would you say that you're optimistic about this subscription appeal?
No.
Would you say that you're optimistic about anything?
No.
Well, I am. Folks, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We greatly appreciate it. Cheers.